Fat Joe brought along legendary disser Eminem to help him call out some big name celebrities in the industry. You don't want to miss what Eminem has or had to say, along with the responses from those people. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Eminem disses Nick Cannon royally.
Standards, and I respected that.
Did you guys ever have a conversation about the Eminem thing?
Oh, we had plenty of conversations about the Eminem thing.
I'll start off with Eminem, because it was he who had the diss that honestly stirred up most of the buzz in terms of this track. You see, he decided to go a bit old school on Lord Above, mainly in that he decided that if he was going to diss someone, it would be to diss someone that he had a lot of ammo against. But it wasn't exactly one of his longtime rap rivals, rather it was Nick Cannon, the person who hooked up with one of his exes, Mariah Carey.
Like, again, I wasn't gonna let anybody disrespect my family, my wife, and and I was like, however you want to handle it, we gotta handle it.
I know me and Mariah didn't end on a high note, but that other dude's whipped. That got him neutered. Tried to tell him his chick's a nut job before he got his jewels clipped. Almost got my caboose kicked. Fool, quit. You not gonna do. I let her chop my balls off too before I lost to you, Nick. He raps. So yeah, that was a bit brutal, don't you think? Considering what he said. What's more, Eminem was saying that he did try and warn Nick about her, which again brings up the relationship that Carey and Eminem once had. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know that Eminem and Mariah Carey were together at any point in time, because on the surface it doesn't seem like a match that would work in any context, and sure enough it didn't. The two broke up, and that's when things got very heated and personal.
You love it. Yo, that sounds like Mariah Carey. That's me.
You know, like all these things tend to do in the rap world, just saying. You see, for all her greatness, glory, and style, Mariah Carey is very much a diva. This has been noted by many people over the years, including her own fans, and she sometimes doesn't know when to stop, especially when it comes to complaining about others. So as I noted, they dated, and then some, and then when her relationship with him fell apart, she decided to make the song Obsessed, which insulted Eminem in numerous ways, and he took it and fought right back with a track called The Warning, where he not only laid down the hurt on Mariah, he decided to get explicit in regards to their encounters they once had. Many people noted that this track might have been just as harmful to Eminem as it was to Mariah Carey, but he honestly has a thicker skin than Mariah, and he also used the song as a literal warning that if she didn't want more explicit stuff released to the world, she should let this go. After finding out about the song, Carey did indeed stop cold, and it's not hard to see why, which is a lesson to all of us if we're being honest, because if you don't want your dirty business exposed to the world, you really shouldn't insult the person you just got out of a serious relationship with. The irony of this whole diss track is many-fold, not the least of which is that after the song The Warning, Nick Cannon, defending his woman as he should, decided to write a letter to Eminem, spelling out the situation that he had just gotten himself into. He would later talk about that letter. I wrote a letter first. I don't even know if Twitter had come out yet, he explained. It said, look, I respect you as an artist. I'm actually a fan. I think you're one of the best to ever do it. But from man to man, you're talking out of pocket to my wife. You gotta be held accountable for that. So I need to see you face to face. Whatever happens when we face to face, happen. Obviously, we don't know exactly what happened in that confrontation, or if the confrontation happened at all. That was before though. Obviously, since that point, Cannon and Mariah Carey have broken up. That's how Nick got a little more personal with his beef when he started to go get Eminem. They should change his name from Eminem to like Percocet M. We gonna call him Cialis. Bring your walker, get out your wheelchair, pop some of whatever you pop. Should I respond to this? It's not worthy of a response. I gotta get in my time machine, go put my Gigolo jersey on. Was that a good comeback on Eminem? I'll let you decide that for yourself. But if these two decide to really get into a rap war, I'm all for it. Not the least of which is that Eminem has been on fire in recent times between Kamikaze, his collaboration with Logic, and more. Plus, with Nick not being married to Carey anymore, you could argue that he is more free to lay down the disses. So what do you say? Let me know in the comments. Dre looks back at his life.
And I would say we would probably still be doing that, but at the same time getting the work done and probably doing something amazing.
Heading to the beginning of the song, Dre starts it out, and instead of going full on dissing people, he instead decides to talk about the life that he has lived, as well as the things that he sees from the various people in the world. Hate is a sin, dog, be real. I got my hand on the pump. You on Twitter in your feels throwing subs, arguing with chicks. I pray for these same hands that I hustle with, passing the offer in plates. I'm the preacher in foreign whips. Sermons and politics, miracles come with each and every flip. There's a lot to break down there, but let's keep it simple for now. Dre is noting how the world has changed overall since he started in rap, how things are a lot more complicated than they should be, and how people nowadays are more focused on things like Twitter than they are with things like doing work. For example, he notes the hands that he has, but while he uses his hands to try and spread the word about his craft, or use those hands to write new songs and try and make himself better, others are using these hands to do things that aren't exactly beneficial, such as typing up a storm on social media and doing little to nothing to make their own lives better. He talks talks about things like sermons and politics and how miracles are seen differently now than they were before. This isn't always a good thing for the record, but as in all things, it depends on your perspective of the matter. Either way, he's noting that from where he started to where he is now, nothing is exactly as it was before, and that's okay in some ways, but clearly he's not liking what he's seeing in regards to the next generation. So you have to wonder what he thinks rap is going to be like in a few generations of musicians, because it may not even be the style of rap that he started out with. Thank you for the life. Yet before Dre is done with his bit in the song, he made sure that he made it clear that he's grateful for what he's done in his life, and that he knows who to thank for it. That's why I thank the Lord for giving me this life, and even when I'm gone, the music keeping us alive. Yeah, it's called forever, ever family ties. You see, that's something that often gets lost in the world that we live in nowadays. People giving thanks for the lives that they have lived, even if they weren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. To that end, the last two words of the lyric, family ties, are a reference to what Fat Joe is doing. This is going to be his last album, so he couldn't help but want to bring in some of the people who he cherished in his life to help him make some music before he moves on to the next stage of his life. But getting back to Dre, he understands that he was given a gift, and that gift allowed him success in his life. A life that was well lived, and one that is full of music that he will be remembered for. But just as important, because of the grandeur of his song and his career, which you can also say about Fat Joe, Mary J, Blige, and Eminem, that their music will transcend them in a way that is beyond what music seems to be at times. Not unlike how we remember the Beatles songs, despite only two of them being around, or how some of the legends of music are eternally talked about, despite them being gone for many decades now. Music lasts. If the song is good, we're gonna remember it, and we'll do well to ensure that people remember these songs and these names. That's why he's singing forever ever, which is also a reference to an Andre 3000 song for the record, because the best songs are the ones that truly do last forever, because people remember them. And whether it just be his songs, or his lyrics, or his legacy, Dre will be remembered, even if only by a few people. And for that, he is thankful, and he thanks God for giving him the life that will allow him to be remembered.
Did you want to win any of these items on the screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right back into the video.
Fat Joe admits he got lucky in life.
And I was just trying to school him, because I've been through that, man. I had the heat on me. You know, I was wilding in the streets.
And here we are with Fat Joe, the lead on this particular collaboration project, and with it, an introspective look on the career that he had and the lives he's changed along the way. G6 Global's Who'da Thunk It from the projects, 8 Ball Some Poppy went and dunked it in the Pyrex, Mischievous Thoughts for Seeing the Sauce, Told Montana in the G Chicky Poo in the Porsche, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mobsters, We the Jimmy Cafes Ain't No Need for Operas. If you can't catch some of the slang, he's basically saying that he's lived a very hard life, and while rap did save him in the grand sense, it was still a struggle that he had to work hard to get out of, but it was worth it. He's known by many names now, and not just Fat Joe. And like Dre, a lot of his music is going to be held up high now that he's bowing out of the game. You can tell by how he talks about being from the projects, how he had to do things with Pyrex, and all the things he had to try and want to be, that he knows he's lucky that he got this life at all. Usually when you hear from people who lived in the projects, you hear about how they were never able to get out of it for one reason or another. And even Fat Joe admits that he's surprised he got out and was able to do rap music, but he did it and he's grateful. As for the Frank Sinatra reference, Fat Joe is referencing how while Frank Sinatra was a classic act and a bestseller because of his performances and such, he was also dealing in some not so nice stuff, just like Fat Joe has had to do. But Sinatra's is more remembered for his tracks and personality, and that's how Fat Joe feels he'll be remembered as well. You need pressure to make diamonds. There's an interesting set of lyrics in Fat Joe's bit that sticks out as a message to the rappers of today. Dig deep in your mind, no pressure, no diamonds. So we live a life, drop 100 at the ferry, yeah? What does that mean exactly? It's actually much simpler than you think. You see in this verse, Fat Joe is noting that when it comes to living the life you want, you need to do more than just try and be it. You have to try and earn it. It may look simple when you see the success that Fat Joe, Dre, Mary J, Blige, and Eminem have had over the course of their careers. But when you dig deeper into what they've been through, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Just looking at Eminem, he had not one but 2 divorces from his love Kim. He also almost passed away because of substance abuse. He wasn't healthy because of serious depression, and that's speaking nothing of his family life in regards to his mother and his childhood. He may have it all together now, but it wasn't always that way. And that's the message that Fat Joe is trying to convey here, because there are going to be times when you're put under pressure, and how you react is going to be how people remember you, whether you want to believe it or not. Fat Joe has had to deal with a lot of things himself in his life, including some financial struggles, but when he made it through, he was stronger for it, and all the others would note that too. So for these young rappers who are either trying to game the system or just will their ways to the top, Fat Joe is saying that it won't be that easy, and even if you get lucky and get in easily, staying in there is another matter entirely. You need the pressure to make diamonds, because once you survive the pressure, you're gonna shine. Eminem lays down the law.
Saying like when I first came out, you know what I'm saying? Like Yeah, man, you were.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, you think we're done talking about Eminem? No, I just started with one part of his line in the Lord Above song. He had much more to say, including how at times he let his anger get the better of him and thus led to some interesting decisions. I should quit watching news clips, yeah, my balls are too big. I should be talking pool cause I got scratched. So my pocket full when I'm taking shots at you. Let me chalk the cue stick. I'm over the top like Cool Whip. And I promise you the day I fall off or lose it, I'll stop and cut off the music. Opportunists want to kill every chance that I got to do this. Stacking my guap savage I'm not a fool with. This is a brief recollection that occurred when it came to his 2017 album Revival. Despite putting a lot into it, a lot of people felt it wasn't Slim Shady and that he was lost in terms of what he needed to do in rap music anymore. Yeah, he didn't take that well, so he channeled all the anger and hate that he boiled inside of him for years and threw it into the 2018 album Kamikaze, where he went after virtually everyone that had ever insulted him in his entire life. The tracks were at times very harsh, and yet the people loved it, proving that Slim Shady was not only back, he never really left. However, even with this recollection of why Kamikaze was made, Eminem acknowledged that it wasn't exactly the best way to go about making a new album. Then again, it proved that he still had the rap flow, so he's cool with it. Either way, he does make a promise, one that many rappers won't commit to for one reason or another, and that's if he ever feels like he's falling off the cliff and he can't perform, he'll stop making rap music. And given the passion he has for the game, I believe he'll do it, and he'll do it happily because he wants every song he makes to be art. Lord Above. While it's true that there's a lot of hate and disses going on in the tracks, as well as a lot of references to how the rappers got the way they are through dark times and violence, there are some positive messages to be heard from you. And not surprisingly, it's sung in the chorus for the most part via Mary J. Blige. Oh, there's no hate in this world that can make me give up, that can keep me stuck. Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you. I thank you, I'm so grateful, so thankful, so thankful, so thankful. In short, she's noting how while the world can most definitely weigh her and others down, it's not something that can fully overcome them. As long as they keep believing, keep pushing, keep doing what they know they're born to do, they'll survive. They'll live and they'll be better, and they know that they have God to thank for that. That's not the kind of optimism you'd expect to see and hear from rappers. But remember, these are rappers who have experienced and have lived long lives. They've outlived many others, and that has given them a perspective that others don't have yet. So why not have optimism? And there you have it, a look at the many lines and disses of Lord Above, featuring Fat Joe, Dre, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem. Which of them do you think had the best diss in the song? You think that they could have done better in certain lines or disses? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe. I'm King Trending, and I'll see you next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad Mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.